What's up? Good afternoon, man. Let's get to it. Little bit of a wiggle there on 46. Huh? You guys see all that? All right, let's see what we can get done here. ATR sitting 29. It was about 25, maybe 24, right before bar 46. So we'll see what we can do. Come on in, man. We've got work to get done. How we doing so far today? You know, not the highest ATR, but relatively reasonable move here. Bar 12 through bar, 20-ish, I'd say. Not too bad. But we're not done, man. It's Pharaoh Friday, and we've got a whole bunch of work to do. So, let's do it. Let's see how 47 closes up. 320 out here from the rollover. I'm curious to see if this wiggle maintains. Now, of course, this top up here, brutal. We've got that wick high of 3, high of day, has yet to be tested even after a couple of attempts. Big bar 25, then you've got 44 stalling out even a tad earlier than 25. So we'll see if the wick high of 3, high of day can get tested. It's not all that uncommon that we try a couple of times and then just fade. We'll see if that ends up being the case. If so, we'll see if the bulls end up giving up on this channel entirely. You get the wick lows all the way from 35 to 41. This kind of bottom of the current sideways range. If we could break that up and head lower, it's pretty much open season down to the wick low of 11, which is the low of day. But of course, the bulls want to try, and they have been for hours, to take out that high of day, wick high of 3. So let's see. Javaz, how we doing? News? Thomas, Boring Trader, what's up? Jamie says we're going to hit 30K today. Man, we'll see. You got 300 points to go. I don't know, man. With an ATR below 30, we'll see. Alex, how we doing? All right, kind of hanging out right in the middle of this trading range again. Here, up to the flat top. I think really best case scenario is we could just head downside, get some volatility back in the mix. ATR sitting 29, again, up from about 25 previous to bar 46. So, see how this guy closes up, about a minute out. Big Bill, how we doing, brother? Ed, what's up, brother? Nico bought 5 more evals using code BIG. My man. Yes, sir. Scale up, make those numbers bigger over at Apex. That's what Apex is best used for. They let you go to 20 accounts, of course. All right, 48. Jose, good afternoon. Come on now, you bears. Let's just fade this baby all the way down. Let's stop hunt the wick low of 11. Get about 3 trades on the way down. Hit the stop hunt. You know, it's been a good day so far. I gotta tell you, these consistency rules are getting under my skin a little bit. And I gotta finesse, thread the needle a bit. When you have, I had some bigger days in the Lucid Pros. And while that's good, because when you get to the next payout territory, you can take more money. But the problem becomes at Lucid, my one complaint over there is that consistency rule is 40%, which is annoying. Apex is 50, and I know it seems like no difference, but 40 is a little bit more thread the needle-y than 50. Because if you have a bigger day at Lucid, now it takes like 3 days minimum to kind of make up for that one, well, at least 2, depending how many days into the cycle you are. But of course, I'm sure that's done on purpose. Apex is 50% consistency rule, which is actually very nice because you only need 5 days with $200 of profit per account. So if you have 2 bigger days, you can kind of just have 3 more days of $200 plus, and you're good to go as far as payouts are concerned. But can't complain too much, man. The opportunity's huge. All right, there you go. Taking out the high a day. Let's see if the bulls can maintain that. What do you guys think? We crack this thing and go higher? I don't know. That's a wick. Got wicked back pretty quick. We'll see if we can break out of this range. Most breakout attempts will eventually fail, but let's see. See if the bulls got something for us. Go on, bulls. You're gonna do it, man. Let's do it. Let's go. Whoever said 30K today, you end up being right, man. I don't know. See, that's beautiful. That brings our ATR up to 32. We were just at 25 a couple of bars ago. So if we could keep this up, I mean, that's a 100-point drive up out of the hole in 2 bars. And a little change. You're on the 3rd bar. That's something else. All right, let's see what the bulls got. That's, of course, first bar closing outside of a huge range. So I'll watch 49 now. 415 out. Yeah, John, we gotta skip it today, man. We don't have time for that song today. We need something a little more. We gotta go. Let's get these bulls going. Giovanni, how we doing? Big dog. You know, I know we're going to see some hesitation here. We're already seeing some hesitation because most of these breakout attempts, of course, will fail. Got to remember range, range, range. But if the bulls are able to put something together here, I know it sounds crazy, but if the bulls are able to put something together here, whoever said 30K today, I don't think you're out of your mind. Now, does that mean I'm just going to buy and hope for 30K? No, give me a setup first, but that would be tremendous as far as getting setups. Manuel says yet another Take Profit Trader payout this morning. Ram, baby, let's go. Is there ever a day where Manuel isn't making millions of dollars? Clean it up out here, my man. All right, we got 33 seconds out here from the rollover into Big Bar 50. Manuel, I'll tell you something. You're making so much money now, you got pocket watchers, homeboy. See, around here, when you start taking lots of payouts and publicizing it in the chat, people start pocket watching. Comes with the territory. Come on, bulls, let's do it. Big Bar 50, 450 out. Don't fail this breakout, man. I want to see 30K today. That would be a sight to see. Well, we're hanging out. I mean, okay, so this is really, you know, the range I'm kind of looking at. At least the tighter variation of the full day, right? Now we're hanging out right up top. So I want to see, can these bulls actually get us up and away? If they can, I think 30K is actually, I know it sounds insane, is actually maybe on the table here later this afternoon. That would be great, because that would lead us into kind of a grind bull trend. Now, of course, range is still the assumption. We're just making conversation, but that would be really best case scenario. Well, you know, best case scenario would be a flash crash for us as active traders, right? But a good scenario would be to break out of here. Worst case scenario is we tighten down this range even further and do this the rest of the day. So let's see what these bulls got. Get us up and away. All right, bulls, there we go. There you go, let's keep that pushing. All right, big bar 50 here, rolling over, 10 seconds out. Now 50, of course, is going to be an inside close, inside 48 and 49. Well, come on, you bulls. What you got, man? Not much, apparently. We've got work to do. Get us above the wick high of 49. Let's go. 238 out. All right, ATR is still holding on to 33. If we can maintain the 30s, I'll be happy. I'd prefer to see this guy pop back up into the 40s. But an ATR 33, better than what we were seeing. Better than what we were seeing. We were sitting at 25. Really not too long ago. Just a few bars ago. So, see if we can not pull back into this trading range. And if we do, then it's like, well, let's get down through it quick. There's a lot of open space here with not many hangups to the downside if the bears want to take it that way. Okay, now, of course, we still have this as a look. It's very early to start drawing this. One more bounce higher and take out the wick high of 49. All of a sudden, okay, soft bull channel. I'll start looking at it that way. But one attempted breakout of the sideways range with a fade back in is a bit too early for me to start taking limit order reversion scalps. Plus, not to mention, even if I wanted to, you know, my stop options are the wick low of 50, which is not a good choice. Really, the wick low of 46. And, you know, in an ATR environment of 31, 32, we're looking at 55, 60 points away. That's not a good place to manage risk either. So let this thing develop. You can see why I want the bulls to just take this guy higher. It's our quickest path to a setup here. Javaz, Nico, do you offer a month-to-month option for the tombs? So for our testing and the feedback that I got directly from you guys, traders, turns out, on average, much prefer the fire hose rather than a drip style, like monthly, month-to-month curriculum, which slows you down and leaves you with a lack of context. So I very much believe in the fire hose, and so do you guys, based on the feedback we received. So, for the sake of speed, no. No, it's one time up front, you get access to everything. The entire curriculum, all the nuanced questions and answers, all of it for the tomb. One time, instant access to all of it, 50 plus hours. All right, Bears, what you got? See if they can take this thing lower, man. Let's go. All right, now Bear's pulling this right back into the range. Take it easy now, right? It's easy for the market to convince you that we're, just going to break lower now, but we're just right back in the trading range. So the probability becomes much more range than the average trader is going to assume, which is one of the pitfalls. Bartlett, how we doing? Well, ATR is starting to dip again. We were sitting kind of more up in the mid to high 30s after this little sequence here, and we're back down to 31, 32 region. Now again, number one concern here is that this guy's back in play. If we could see, you know, this gets a little bit weird to draw, but something like this, a rip back higher, take out the wick high of 49, all of a sudden I'm looking at more of a soft, kind of sloppy, but soft bull channel. And again, to the downside, take out the wick low of 38, head all the way down toward the low of day, the wick low of 11. That would be a quick way to tack on some potential P&L here. So we'll see which side plays out. You know, when there's so many options, the default is always range, range, range until it's not. You know, if the market's confused, why the hell would I not be, kind of thing. So see how this guy develops. You know, the volatility is maintaining. ATR sitting at 30. What I don't want is to dip into the low 20s. That gets difficult to come back from. Okay, good. We're about halfway through bar 54 here. That's a good sign. That is not a bad sign. Now, what we don't want... Well, let me start over. What we don't want is this maintaining, right? That'd be ugly. So, I do want that to maintain so that we can eventually make a very strong argument for a soft bull channel, and then I've got limit order reversion scalps and continuation trades, at least within reason, if it's soft, right? The softer it is, the more likely I am to take limit order reversion scalps. And the more aggressive it starts to get, the more likely I am to take actual continuation inside of it. But again, best case scenario, barring a big giant crash, which increases volatility, you know, triple. Best case scenario, aside from that, would be a nice grind up, maybe toward the 30K region by end of day. So bulls, let's keep that showing up, man. Bar 54, closing here a minute and a half. Question, what's the difference between a soft channel versus a regular channel? A soft channel is, to me, a less aggressive channel. I often go right from soft channel to, I'll just say, attempting to get more aggressive, which I mean trying to turn into an actual trend. So if you get a soft bull channel, it's a channel with a clear bull bias, you know, higher lows, higher highs kind of thing. Oftentimes those will either turn into a then sideways trading range and die, kill off volatility. Yeah, that's right, less angle. Or they'll start to get more aggressive. You know, in the bull case, the higher highs start getting higher and the pop throughs start getting more aggressive, and that starts turning more into a trend, which is a very good thing, because then I start veering away from limit order reversion scalping more to continuation trades like I would in a trend. Does that make sense, or am I speaking jargon? It's hard for me to tell sometimes. Okay, good. What I can do here is hit this for a scalp, risk the wick low 46. And just see if those bulls want to take this guy back up in and create more of a soft channel. Because that's certainly what it's looking like after 53, 54. Now, if the bears end up taking this guy lower and stopping me out, then we've got a single bar range on our hand, or not a single bar, we got a sideways range on our hands, which would not be tremendous. But the look is starting to get a little bit clearer in my head, so take a small stab. See what the bulls got. All right, ATR is sitting at 30, which is more than 1R, which I can make perfect sense of here on this trade. So target here for me, 1 ATR. Question, how long did it take you to become a less emotional trader to the point where you'd feel completely calm taking a trade and unbothered by emotions? I mean, it took years. It took years, but the secret isn't necessarily time, though of course it helps. The secret to fixing that, I've always told you the secret, right? The secret is to have a track record. And the only way to get a track record is to pick a methodology, brute force the discipline to stick to the methodology, and put your ego aside to trade small enough for just a little while. I'm not saying trade small forever. I'm not an advocate of that. You know, whatever small means for you. Oh, shit! There's a headline, huh? What in the world? Little wiggles. I'm not telling you to trade small forever. What I am telling you is trade small for a few weeks so that you're unbothered by the emotions because you just don't really care. And then you're able to build a track record of consistent decision making, which will lead you to be a more confident trader, which when you're confident in what you're doing, you don't really care about the outcome of each individual trade. The biggest problem that I see with newer traders is like they'll be sitting in this scalp and their day, their mood depends on whether or not, Trump sends a tweet and stops me out here. Guys, it's one trade. Your career is, every year is thousands. Let alone a career. So it's like one trade is just, you're putting yourself through the ringer for very little reason. And one trade is meaningless, by the way, because we know that statistical edge, positive expected value, only shows itself consistently at moderate to large sample sizes. So what one trade does, I get it, like, oh, but I get to put money in my pocket now. So I want to put money in my pocket for a career. Right, so if you don't move away from that, you're gonna have problems. Problems that don't get fixed and eventually drive you to quit because you either run out of money or run out of faith or run out of energy to keep going, You can only bang your head against the wall so many times. Vaz says, how do you know me so well? You literally just described me. Dog, because I've been in all of your shoes. Almost like I've been there before, right? I know traders because I am one. And we're all wired quite similarly, believe it or not. If you're here, I probably wouldn't say we're all that different as far as the business side or the ambition side of our brains, right? At least many of us. There's a certain kind of individual attracted to this line of work. Which is why when I say things, a lot of you probably go, how did he know that? I'm going through that right now. Almost like I've been there, big dog. Almost like we're all doing the same thing every day. Come on, Bulls! All right, ATR sitting 31. All right, there's the rollover, bar 56 into 57. ATR sitting 28. ATR sitting 29-ish. Bull's having a little bit of trouble getting us where I need him. Oh, man. So you want to be a day trader, huh? Come on, bulls. Hang out at 29,665 all day. Right, 57. Rolling over into 58. Let's see what the Bears got here. They take out the wick low of 46. I cut it, and then we've got a sideways range. Well, back to break even here on the trade. Waiting for these bulls to do their job. ATR sitting at 30. And you know, while the market goes back and forth here, if the market's not going to give me my dopamine by moving quick, the least you guys could do is get us to 100 likes, man. I need a hit. Bar 55 through 58. Sideways. HR somehow holding on to 30. RSI Scalper says, I'm starting to appreciate the $200 trading days ever since I started part-time work. That's backbreaking to make $110 in 5 hours. Yeah, I know that the goal here is to move away from that stuff, but I really think it's extraordinarily important to maintain a sense of, like, keep your one small toe in, like, the real world, so to speak, and understand what you're able to do here. Because if you lose sight of that, I think you start to kind of lose respect for maybe the process of what's consistently producing the results here, in the chair. That's charts. Because, what you can produce here just with a little bit of edge is out of this world. It's insane. Well, bouncing around, about 3 ticks around break even. Come on, bulls! At this point, man, anybody. Is anybody home? You know they are, because the ATR volatility is not even that bad. It's 28. But we're spoiled. We're spoiled, man. We want a 77 ATR. All right, big bar 60. Out of the 50s. Good riddance. 60s are going to clean us up here. The ATR indicator, it's just the way I have it set up in NinjaTrader. I just use the range indicator and then ATR set with a value of 10, and I overlay them. in the same section at the bottom of Ninja. Alright, hey, you guys keep an eye on this trade for me. My coffee's getting cold. Give me 2 minutes. If something happens, I'll have my eye on the chart, but go crazy in the chat. Make sure I see what's going on. right. Welcome back. Not a lot changed till right now, huh? All right, Bears, what you got? Mini trader, you must be new here. Welcome, big dog. Yeah, you see, contrary to a lot of traders online, I don't trade based on wanting to have a good weekend. What happens here doesn't impact the quality of my weekend. I'm good. All right, ATR is falling down to 27 here. All right, Bears, let's go. Let's go. Let's go down to the wick low of 11, man. Let's get that ATR up into the 40s. All right, cut it. Got the wick low of 36. That is next on the agenda here. Our copier's flat. Let's keep it pushing. Bar 61. Rolling over here in 2 seconds. Into 62. Let's see if these bears can do some work. Take us beneath the wick low of 38. This is still a big range. You got to look at it as such. Let's see what they bring. Alright, bear's good. Good, let's dump it. Let's dump it. I want to stop hunt the wick low of 11. And I want to take 3 trades on the way down. Come on, bears. Still, range. Got to be very, very careful here. Watch 62, 215 out. Let's see if we can get a nice clean close out of 62 and then 63. Thread the needle for me. ATR 26, by the way. Getting lower. This could speed things up. Let's see. Okay, 35 seconds out. Bull's popping that thing. What is this now? Big mess. All right. Rollover income in 5 seconds. 62 into 63. We drew this thing like, what, an hour ago? Range, man. So this, by the way, this is effectively off the table, obviously. Especially after 61 and 62. And it's way too early to start drawing anything. Any bear channel variation, it's just still a range. So, all right, let's let this thing develop and see. We're starting to run out of time here for a big 30K run. So whoever said 30K by end of day, Tick-tock, big dog. All right, Bulls. If you're going to take us back up into the range, then do it. Take us back up into the range, man. ATR-wise, we're sitting 28.5. Got this whole mess here to get through. All right, bar 64. So what do you guys think volatility is going to be like on Monday, huh? Got an early close here in the futures. I got to tell you, I imagine it's going to be pretty embarrassingly low come Monday. Yeah, so as far as Monday, typically when the stock market that is closed up and futures have a half day, that's a recipe for, extremely low volatility here in the futures. Obviously. So, kind of hoping to get some volatility here very soon to finish out Friday and hold us over, man. But, again, when in doubt, range, right? Especially when volatility is low. It's 26 on the ATR. Goes hand in hand with range trading. Question, I haven't been doing this long enough to know, does PA typically slow down in the summer? Yeah, so in the same way that people talk about the Santa rally, which is just, you cannot make that assumption that December is just gonna be up every day. Don't go into December with some everyday long bias like it's gonna be a bull trend every day. In summer, I also prefer that you don't enter summer trading assuming that it's just going to be single bar sideways ranges and a 6 ATR all summer. Some summers are slower than others. On the averages, summer is going to be a little bit slower than the other seasons, aside from like the holiday season, which tends to slow down for a week or two toward the end of the year, barring massive harvesting action, right? So anyway, that being said, last summer was especially slow. It was a little slower than is normal, so we'll see what this summer ends up doing. Obviously, we never want it to be slow, but yeah, there is some truth to summer slowdown, but don't make that base assumption because it is not any kind of certainty at all. Look, as always, just show up and do your job. All you guys, as you know, is necessary, and you'll read it for what it is. If summer ends up being slow, you will see that. Right? That assumption doesn't benefit you in any way. Come on now, Bulls. If we can get through the wick high of 63 and 64, we can finally start getting out of this little. Tons of overlap, whole bunch of indecision, and we have to make the base assessment of trading range. As much as I don't want to, it's easy to start convincing yourself of other things because we get bored, right? You get frustrated with the action. It's all right. It is what it is, So accept it and let it do its thing. Let it adjust and, setup usually comes along before you know it. Bart, how we doing, big dog? Bulls, Bears, somebody. ATR 26. Question: when you're trading and not on stream, do you do anything to pass the time? Music, puzzle, dumbbell presses. Yeah, it depends on the day. Typically, an example would be like I'll throw on a side monitor, where I'm not really watching and I'm more just listening. Like, I don't know, like a podcast about astrophysics or something. And I'll just listen, and then I tune it out while I'm trading, and then I'll listen. Tune it out while I'm trading, listen. It's not like trading takes. I'm focused, but I think there's this misconception that your best trading is going to take this silent, pitch black room where you sit there for 7 hours. I don't need to do that. That would take away from my decision-making process. I can just tune out, focus on what I'm doing, watch the charts if I'm not in anything, listen. It's just, and let's be honest, you really, even if that was the reality, would you really want to do that? Sit in a dark, dead silent, sound-treated room for 7 hours a day? I mean, that sounds awful, I gotta tell you. I like sitting in a quiet room and thinking, which is what trading is, but I like to have something quietly in the background that's interesting to me. Well, this is kind of crazy here. ATR 25, tons of overlap. We got effectively what is a single bar sideways range from, you could argue further back, but at least like 61 through the current bar. But I'll tell you one thing I don't do is, I don't really anyway, because at this point I think it would only be a net, I know it would only be a net negative. I don't consume like trading content, but I'll tell you what not to do. Don't listen to trading content that is about a different style than what you're trading while you are trading. I think it's only going to make you second guess what you know you should be doing. So, you know, if somebody is taking 3-week long swing trades on commodities and you're scalping, I wouldn't have that in your ear while you're actually trading. So I just keep it completely unrelated. All right, Bears. What's up, man? What you got? All right, minute 25 out. Let's see if these Bears got anything interesting. This market, you know, right now, this is a little bit weird. We're getting a lot of kind of random spiky action, lower volume stuff. Okay, so make sure you have your hard stops out if you're in anything. All right, 30 seconds out here. Till 67 rolls over. Bears. Get a little confidence. Get us away from that little range, man. ATR sitting 28, by the way. Alright, so 67, first bar to close outside the big range. Just barely, though, beneath the wick low 62. You gotta keep an eye on this ATR versus the range. Both sitting at about 30. Range on 68 and ATR currently. See what these bears got. Minutes. Well, go on, Bears. It's make it or break it time, man. We got bar 68, 2 minutes out. You know those bulls want to take us right back up into the trading range. Oh, man. Now this is NQ. "90 seconds out. All right, 60 seconds. Now let's see. Can these bears give me a nice clean close? Obviously beneath the wick low 67, as clean as possible down here. Signs of insecurity here out of the bears. Get ready here, just in case. Yep, there it is. Signs of insecurity here. 10 seconds. They can't do it. They can't do it! Inside close! You see those babies back off at the last second? All right, bar 69, what you got? Now, for me to get short on 69, it has to be clean. It's gotta be real clean, and it's gotta be a nice, clean bear close. Kind of just beneath the wick low of 68, because you get too much further, it starts becoming an outsized bar. Now, the further the bulls grow this wick up top, especially if they take it above the wick high of 68, all of a sudden things start to change. There you go, bears. All right, what you got? 3.5 minutes out. They're nervous, man. They're nervous. Oh, you bears. Come on now, man. 2 minutes. Minute 20 to save the day. See, they look interested. They're just nervous to take it down beneath the wick low of 68. Come on, you bears. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. "38 seconds. There you go. You fucking babies. Hold it. Hold it. No, no, no. Well, I suppose we'd better get ready, huh? "15 seconds out. It's gonna be tight, man. Stop limit sell ready. Oh, there's a bunch of babies. Bunch of nothing. Inside close out of 69, rolling over into 70. Nothing! Nothing, nothing, nothing. You see, they're interested. They're just insecure about it. All right, Bears. You beautiful Bears. Big bar 70. Give it to me. I want a nice, clean bear close. And I'm shorting this thing to 25K on the Nasdaq. 25,000 end of day? Question mark? Good, Bears. Spicy, you can't delete it, man. Don't delete it. Do I call him out or do I leave him alone? That's right. Say it with your chest, big dog. Hey, if it tanks, fuck it, dude. You had confidence. All right, bar 70, 2.5 minutes out. Oh, you beautiful Bears, give me a clean close. Two minutes. Don't let the bulls bully you around like that. Come on now. Come on now. We've got an eternity left. We got 1minute 20 seconds for the Bears to step in, clean this up, swallow up this wick. Give me a close right there. Stop limit sell goes out. We short this thing down to 25K end of day. Sounds like a plan to me. 60 seconds. Hey, by the way, guys, you know, now that we're nearing Memorial Day, these crazy deals, 50% off and no activation fee at TakeProfitTrader, code BIG, B-I-G, and at Apex, where you go to make the numbers bigger, make them tremendously big. You can trade 20 accounts. Apex is 90% off, and you can pass in 1 day with code BIG, B-I-G. Those are going to be ending here pretty soon. They're mostly for like Memorial Day time, so, you know, are they going to get extended? I don't know. None of us do know, but they have to end eventually, and I would imagine after the holiday, it might be kaput, so I'd hit that if I were you. 7 seconds, Bears! You bunch of babies! You kidding me? The bodies are just getting smaller here. Look, they get all cocky in the first minute of the bar. Here they go, doing it again. This is the one Bears, huh? After what, 3 teases in a row? We wait all day for the Bears to do their job. They're trying. But I think one of you guys need to go and, rub their shoulders, give them a little pep talk, whisper in their ear a little bit, tell them it's going to be all right. The low a day is coming. $3.15 out. Bar 71. Looking beautiful so far. But we know 3 minutes might as well be forever from these last 3 bars. Beautiful. All right, halfway through 71, 2.5 minutes out. $90 seconds out. All right, 1 minute. You see? Look. What'd we say? They get nice and cocky. First couple minutes of the bar, Bulls step in, Bears say, okay, that's enough. Give us a clean close this time around, Bears. Big bar 71. This is the bar. Tell you what, 45 seconds. We're getting a little later into the day here. $30 seconds out. $10 seconds. Stop limit sell out and ready. Copy trader engaged. Inside close. These Bears, they can't get it done, man. Inside the wick low is 70. All right, Bears, you get one more chance. We're coming into 230 here. Big bar 72, 340 out. Now, 71 was the closest out of all the teasing bars. $72 might be my golden child here. Alright, now by the way, low of day is the wick low of big bar 11. Right there, you see that guy? Just below 29.5. Alright, we got 224. That's 2 minutes, 20 seconds out until the close of bar 72. It's looking beautiful so far. These last 4 bars have taught us lessons about beautiful looking bars with 2 to 3 minutes left. So let's see what 72 has got in store here. Come on, Bears. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Give me a nice clean close. 90 seconds. 90 seconds out. "45 seconds. Okay, ATR sitting 31. Range on this bar currently about 37, 38 points. That is fine by me. As long as we don't grow too much here. Stop limits already. Copy trader engaged. Place him for the rollover. And see if the Bears want to take it, which they will. Beauty. Alright, ATR sitting 29. Still about 55-ish points away from a stop hunt. 50, 55-ish points. So, it's a tad early for a beautiful stop hunt. Oops. There you go. Beautiful setup. Now it's just a matter of can these Bears get the job done. Bulls trying to get cute with it, stepping in. Halfway through bar 73 here. Well, damn, Bulls. It's a nice attempt here so far. Look, you got that low a day, wick low of 11, about 490. All right, roll over 73 into 74. See what these bulls got. Again, my risk is managed above the wick high of 72. Manuel, my man. Good work, brother. All right, out there. Crazy work, bulls. Props, man. Let the copier flatten. All right, I'm flat. All right, so you got 72 into 73, now 74. My question becomes with 74, you know, you've got that wick high of 72. Makes you wonder, do we go into a sideways range and close out the day? Yeah, that may be what happens. We'll see here. It's getting kind of late, isn't it? All right. Okay, so Okay, the stock market is closed on Monday. Futures are open, but it's a half day. Half day futures only days where the stock market is closed are very low volatility, typically. All right, so I'll tell you what. I want you guys to enjoy your long weekend, and I will see you back at it on Tuesday. All right? Sound good? Hang in there, guys. Hope you guys had a good day. Afternoon, yeah, you know. But the morning time was a little bit better after bar, you know, I'll say 12, 13. Things cleaned up a little, and then... Where'd my mouse go? There it is. All this, kind of a mess. This got better. Just didn't work. It's all right. That's all right. What'd you think? You're going to have a career with no losing trades? Living in a fantasy land, big dog. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy. Enjoy it. Hey, summer starts now. Kind of forget Memorial Day is kind of the mark. All right, guys. See you soon. Have a good one.